He thinks their physical connection is perfect, but he's operating blind. He remembers the beginning, the effortless affection, the way she used to melt into his arms. But now, the hand that used to find his stays by her side, the body that once curved towards his in bed keeps a careful distance. He reaches for her, and he feels it, a flinch. A subtle, almost imperceptible tensing that his nervous system registers as a full-blown rejection. His mind races, but he's asking the wrong questions. Is it me? Did I do something wrong? Am I not attractive to her anymore? He's about to learn the unspoken truths she feels when he touches her, because physical touch isn't just physical. It's a language, an assessment, a test he didn't know he was taking. These revelations aren't about a simple loss of spark. They expose the hidden psychological shifts, the deep-seated histories, and the silent resentments that fundamentally change how a woman's body experiences affection in a long-term relationship. And the reasons are far more complex and dirty than he could ever imagine. We've all heard the cliché, the honeymoon phase ends and the passion fades. It's convenient, simple, and lazy explanation for why the constant cuddling of a new relationship gives way to a more practical arrangement. It dismisses a profound and often painful shift that occurs in many women, a shift that has very little to do with boredom or a lack of love. In fact, sometimes it's the very depth of the relationship that creates the problem. When a relationship moves from the intoxicating chemical cocktail of new love into an established partnership, the meaning of touch changes. Hormones like oxytocin and dopamine that once made every touch feel like a jolt of pure connection recede, and what's left is the raw, unvarnished reality of two people navigating life together. The mental load of work, family, and finances drains a person's internal resources, making physical affection feel less like a comfort and more like another demand on an already depleted system, what he perceives as a personal rejection. She doesn't want me anymore is the surface-level symptom of a much deeper storm. She may not even have the words for it herself. It's not one thing. It's a tangled web of past experiences and present insecurities. We're going to untangle that web and go deeper into the 7 dirty, meaning unspoken and uncomfortable truths that women often feel during physical touch, but can never bring themselves to admit. Dirty Truth 1. Every casual touch feels like a down payment on sex. This is one of the most common, yet most silently held, resentments a woman can feel. In the beginning, a hand on her back was just a hand on her back, but over time, a pattern can emerge. She learns that for her partner, non-sexual touch has become an endangered species. For many men, touch is the primary pathway to sex. For many women, sex is the culmination of emotional intimacy, not the starting point. Here's the breakdown. He initiates physical touch to feel close. He puts his arm around her, kisses her, runs a hand through her hair. In his mind, he's just being affectionate. But in her mind, a script has already started playing. She knows this touch isn't just a hello, it's an overture. It's the first act of a play that she knows is supposed to end in the bedroom. Suddenly, a seemingly innocent gesture is loaded with expectation. Her nervous system, already frayed from a long day, doesn't register comfort. It registers a question. Do I have the energy for this tonight? If I accept this cuddle, am I sending a signal I don't intend to follow through on? If I pull away, will he be hurt? This turns affection into a transaction. She can no longer relax into a casual hug because it doesn't feel casual anymore. It feels like signing a contract she hasn't had time to read. So, she begins to avoid the opening bid. She subtly pulls away or gets busy. It's not because she doesn't love him, it's because she's trying to protect her autonomy and energy. She's desperately trying to receive affection that doesn't come with an invoice. This creates a painful cycle. He feels rejected and stops offering any touch, which makes her feel even more disconnected and less desired for who she is, rather than what she can provide sexually. Dirty Truth 2. Your touch is unlocking a ghost from her past. This truth is heavy. When a woman has a history of trauma, whether it's from childhood, a past assault, or intimate partner violence, her nervous system is fundamentally rewired. Touch is no longer just a sensory experience. It becomes a trigger. Her skin is packed with nerve endings, sending constant signals to the brain about safety and threat. For someone who's experienced trauma, the brain has learned to associate physical contact with danger. So, when you, her loving and trusted partner, reach out to hold her, her brain doesn't always differentiate. It sounds an alarm. Her body is thrown into a fight, flight, or freeze response before her conscious mind can even process what's happening. This isn't a choice, it's a biological, involuntary reaction. A hug from behind might trigger a sense of being trapped. The very act intended to communicate love can be interpreted by her nervous system as a threat. She might flinch, stiffen, or dissociate, mentally checking out from the moment. The dirty part of this truth is the immense shame and confusion it causes her. She loves you. She wants to feel close to you, but her body is betraying her. She may not tell you the full story of her past because she fears your judgment or doesn't want to be defined by it. So instead, she might say, "I'm just tired." She's protecting you from a history she can't escape and protecting herself from the agonizing conflict of wanting your touch while her own body screams, "No." It's not a rejection of you, it's the echo of a past pain. Dirty Truth 3. She feels unworthy of your affection. This is a quiet, insidious poison that can contaminate the most loving relationships, low self-esteem and body image insecurities. Society and media can instill a deep-seated feeling of not enoughness in a woman. In the vulnerable space of physical intimacy, self-doubt comes roaring to the surface. When you touch her, you might be thinking, "I love her body," but her internal monologue might be a relentless cycle of self-criticism. "He's touching my stomach. Can he feel how soft it is? My skin isn't smooth enough. He must be comparing me to how I used to look." The physical act of being touched exposes her, and if she doesn't feel comfortable in her own skin, that exposure feels less like intimacy and more like judgment. This can lead to a direct avoidance of physical contact. She might keep the lights off or wear a t-shirt to bed. It's a tragic paradox. The very person whose validation she craves is the person she feels she must hide from. She judges herself as unworthy of affection and therefore struggles to understand why anyone would want to touch her. Admitting this out loud, "Don't touch me, I feel fat," feels incredibly vulnerable, like a cry for reassurance that can feel manipulative or needy. So instead, she just pulls away, leaving you confused. The rejection you feel isn't about your desire for her, it's a reflection of her own lack of desire for herself. Dirty Truth 4. Her dislike of touch is secretly anxiety in disguise. What often gets labeled as a simple preference can be a deeply rooted anxiety disorder. A woman might say, "I'm just not a touchy-feely person," but what's really happening is that physical closeness triggers a cascade of anxious thoughts that are so uncomfortable she learns to avoid the trigger itself. Social anxiety, for instance, can manifest as a profound discomfort with the intimacy of physical contact. Touch can feel like an invasion that heightens self-consciousness and a fear of being judged. She might worry, "Am I doing this right? Is this awkward? What is he thinking right now?" This internal chatter makes it impossible to relax. For some, it's a fear of intimacy tied to an avoidant attachment style. These individuals value independence to an extreme degree, often because early life experiences taught them that depending on others leads to disappointment. To them, deep physical connection feels threatening. It represents a loss of control and a vulnerability their entire psychological framework is designed to prevent. It's not that they don't love their partner, it's that the very act of merging, even through a simple cuddle, feels like a threat to their sense of self. The distinction between a genuine preference and anxiety is crucial. She's not rejecting you. She's managing an internal state of distress that she may not even have a name for. Dirty Truth 5. She's using touch as a weapon, not a bridge. This truth is difficult to confront because it introduces manipulation into what should be the purest form of connection. For some people, particularly those with an insecure or anxious attachment style, physical affection can become a tool for control. This attachment style is born from a fear of rejection and abandonment. In this context, touch becomes coercive. It's not offered freely, it's used to get something. For example, after an argument, she might initiate sex not out of desire, but as a way to fix the problem and ensure her partner won't leave. She uses her body to pull him back in, to alleviate her own anxiety about the relationship's stability. This can also manifest as the withholding of touch as a form of punishment. If she feels hurt or that her needs aren't being met, she might create a physical, cold shoulder. Her refusal to cuddle or be intimate is a powerful non-verbal way of saying, "You have done something wrong and you will not have access to me until you fix it." This is different from simply needing space. It's a calculated, albeit often subconscious, tactic. The dirty secret here is that the intimacy you think is about connection is actually about her managing her own internal fear. It turns touch into a bartering system where affection is a currency to be earned or withheld, draining it of all genuine warmth. Dirty Truth 6. She's drowning in invisible labor and resentment. This is the silent killer of intimacy in many long-term relationships. It's the slow, steady accumulation of 1,000 tiny resentments. She feels like she's carrying the majority of the mental load, the invisible, thankless job of managing the household, the schedules, the social calendar. She's exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. She feels less like a cherished partner and more like a household manager. Over time, this creates a deep well of resentment. Her brain forms a powerful negative association. I am overwhelmed and unsupported. When I express my needs, he doesn't listen. Therefore, he doesn't truly care about my well-being. Now, when that same partner reaches for her at the end of the day, seeking connection, her body recoils. It's not a conscious decision. It's a visceral, physiological response. Her nervous system doesn't register a loving partner. It registers the source of her stress and frustration. The cortisol flooding her system creates an association. His touch is a reminder of feeling unsupported. It feels profoundly unfair to her. How can he ignore her pleas for help all day and then expect her to open herself up to him physically at night? His touch, in that moment, doesn't feel like love. It feels like another form of taking. Another demand from a person who's already taken too much. The physical distance you feel is rarely about just one thing. It's a complex signal pointing to deeper issues, but understanding these hidden dynamics is the first most critical step toward healing that connection. If you're ready to move beyond the confusion and start rebuilding the intimacy you once had, I have another video called 5 Steps to Rebuild Emotional Safety with Your Partner that gives you a practical roadmap. Click the link in the description. And if this video gave you a new perspective, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our future deep dives into the psychology of relationships. Dirty Truth 7. She cuddles the dog, but not you. Here's the real reason. It's one of the most painful scenarios a man can face. He watches his partner shower the kids or the family pet with hugs and cuddles. Yet when he approaches, she stiffens. The immediate conclusion is devastating. She loves the dog more than me. But the truth is a powerful indicator of relational disconnection. This isn't about a preference for pets. It's about what his touch represents. A hug for a child or a pet is simple. It's pure, uncomplicated affection. There are no strings attached, no complex history, no underlying resentments or expectations. It is a safe and emotionally clean interaction. Your touch, on the other hand, is loaded with the entire history of your relationship. It carries the weight of every unresolved argument, every dismissive comment, every time she felt emotionally unsafe. If she feels emotionally disconnected from you, your physical touch can feel jarring or inauthentic. It's like trying to play a love song on an out-of-tune instrument. The result is dissonant. Her body is telling a truth that her words are not. There is a breach in your emotional intimacy that makes physical intimacy feel like a lie. When a woman feels emotionally unsafe, her nervous system goes into a protective mode. Your touch may be tagged as an emotional threat. So while you see her cuddling the dog and feel a sting of rejection, what you are actually witnessing is a demonstration of what she's missing with you, a safe, simple, and unconditional connection. The landscape of physical affection in a long-term relationship is not a simple map. It's a complex terrain shaped by the hidden geology of psychology, history, and emotion. The withdrawal of a woman's touch is almost never as simple as she's not interested anymore. It's a silent language expressing a world of unspoken truths. It could be her body remembering a trauma her mind tries to forget. It could be the heavy cloak of insecurity that makes her feel unworthy of your touch. It could be the constant, low-grade hum of anxiety that turns intimacy into a threat. Or it could be the crushing weight of resentment built from 1,000 moments of feeling unheard and unsupported. What feels like a personal rejection from your partner is often her own internal battle made visible. It's not necessarily a reflection of her love for you, but a reflection of her relationship with herself, her past, and the current emotional safety of your partnership. The path back to physical connection doesn't start with demanding more touch. It starts with curiosity. It starts with asking what lies beneath the surface. It starts with creating a space so safe that the dirty truths no longer have to be kept in the dark. Because true intimacy isn't just about touching. It's about understanding why sometimes we can't.